Hi, so I will be summarizing my learning from the midterm topic. So BCPs, or what we call a business community plan, is a document that contains the vital details a company needs to keep running in case of an unanticipated event. So the BCP outlines the fundamental operations of the company, points out the systems and processes that must be maintained, and provides instructions on how to do so. Business community or community is a proactive strategy to reduce the hazards of an operational disruptions. It outlines actions that should be taken in order to keep organization financially viable before, during, and after an event. So the organization can remain resilient and respond promptly to interruptions with the aid of business community. Good business community helps to save the resources including time, money, and brand reputation. Loss of money, reputation, and other things could result from an extended outage. So there would be 4 steps on developing an effective business community plan. First, the identifying the risk. It's essential to comprehend the dangers that can expose workers, clients, suppliers, assets, and business processes to risk. Natural disasters, malicious assaults, power outages, and system failures are just a few examples of threats. Determine the hazards that are most likely to arise based on an organizational, regional, historical, and other characteristics. Then compare the likelihood of each incident to its possible impact to our business and our preparedness to react. So, the next one is the incident response. So, we will be determining personnel, locations, suppliers, systems, and procedures that are essential to our company's survival. What operations and asset is, if disrupted or lost, would affect your capacity to deliver products and services or to adhere to regulations. Let's just take into account that who and what are absolutely required to resume vital operations. Next, order the importance of restoring each item following the incident. We will be planning to make the most of our limited resources. We can always restore complementary functions later. Thirdly, or business recovery. So, planning and efforts for preventions and mitigations are meant to both help prevent an event from occurring, so such as fire or explosion rather by dangerous conditions, and it will be lessening the impact of severity of the event. So, such as relocating critical equipment to a higher elevation in flood susceptible areas. So, the fourth one, emergency response, public relations, resources management, and employee communication should be all covered in our prevention and mitigation strategies. Lastly, plan updates. So, a business community plan is a dynamic strategy that must be changed along with our organization, so it should be tested and updated at least once a year, or if important, facilities, suppliers, or personnel change, train our staff members on their part in carrying out the plan too. So exercise might range from lectures to fictitious roles to place actual drills or simulations, making sure the study functions as intended as crucial. Next, recoverability. Wait lang. So let's just say that if we are talking recoverability, let's answer the word, what are their expectations? First, we will be addressing needs of our clients and prospects. Business community planning and program maintenance is not an option with customers. We should be or actionable plan, confirm vital availability of our services, and support our verifiable. We will be also distinguishing you from the competitors. Next, usability. Is the implementation of plan easy to understand by everyone? So, I will be giving 3. We will be the 3 questions that supposed to be answer this usability. Can executive management crisis team easily assess the emergency? More likely, do the department heads understand the rules during an incident? Does the plan prioritize the most critical business functions? Let's just say that controls unnecessary documentation. Next, there's actually creating and evaluating BCP plans. Keep it simple. So phase 1 is the risk assessment phase, which establishes the risk framework. So the risk assessment will identify the primary threats, so day-to-day operations identified through the identifications of potential internal and external risks in each defined area. Second phase is activities include the development of alternative recovery strategies. So the project team will identify the most likely recovery strategies in which to mitigate that risk. Lastly, or the phase 3 activities includes documentations of the business continuity plans, plan, maintenance, training, and testing exercises. In addition, a process will be developed as part of the maintenance in continuity, reevaluate the risk of day-to-day operations. There are actually a business continuity planning life cycle. First is project initiations, discovery, functional requirements, strategies, planning, crisis, communities, exercise or the testing, maintaining or the updating, and training or the training or awareness. So let's just be there's an approach of BCP ongoing. So there's what we call process versus project. So annual risk assessment or the BIA plus plan reviews efforts for next year's identified before budget cycle. Annual testing of at least some aspect of plan. BCP coordinations ongoing. So let's just always assess the impacts of risk. BCP focuses on established crisis management response protocols to react to disruptions, developing business recovery strategies that respond to assess risk and impacts, testing strategies for viability, effectiveness, and to ensure solutions meet requirements. So there's evolve the business community program too. So utilize program as a way to establish risk controls, incorporate the program as part of the business as usual and an extensions of normal operation rather than a reactive projects. Go to the corporate reputation. So how other people view a firm is simple referred as its corporate reputation. So but since the 1980s, attempts have been made more officially define it, separating reputation from similar concepts like corporate image, identity, brand equity, and status. Actually, there's two main components, which is the perception, so how company is perceived by all stakeholders, and the next one is reality, truth about company's policies, practices, procedures, systems, and performance. Meaning, a company's corporate reputation is the sum of all views of the benefits held out about the company based on its history, its future prospects, and comparison to the close competitors. There's three elements to reputation, which is the brand reputations, organizational reputations, stakeholder reputations. Elements of a reputation is first, images, what stakeholders think of the company. Next is the identity, what the company says it is, and the personality, what the company is all about. So, a line of these factors is vital to build, sustain, and protect on an organization's reputation. So, says by John Dalton, reputation is the same values that stakeholders attribute to a company based on their perceptions and interceptions of image that the company communicates over time. But Professor John Kay defines corporate reputations as reputation is a principal means through which a market economy deals with consumers' ignorance. There is actually a component which is the ethical, employee workplace, financial performance, leadership, customers focus, social responsibilities, management, quality, and reliability, also the emotional appeal. So there's a factors which is products and services, emotional appeal, performance, financial performance, social responsibility, visions, leaderships, and workplace. This is the corporate reputations. That's all.